Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. This is William Heinman, your host, and you're at Just Force 911, where we look at how our public officials do their job or not. Today's video is coming to us from Avaya Israel. He has the, excuse me, the page We the People University, and show him some love. Go over there and tell him I sent you. Check his videos out. If you haven't already done so, subscribe. Hit the like and share button. And while you're here, subscribe to mine if you haven't done so. Hit the little bell icon so you know when I put out a new video. Hit the like and share and leave a comment, please. And if you would, when you leave a comment, try to, let's get a conversation going. And I'd appreciate it very much. Okay, so this video is a young man was having a seizure in the morning. He is prone to seizures. I guess he had one in the afternoon, then he had one in the evening. And when they had the one in the evening, his grandmother called 911, and a police officer showed up with the paramedics. The paramedics gave the young man a sedative to control his seizure, and I guess while he was putting on his shorts, he fell over and bumped one of the officers, and that threw them into a tizzy where they decided that he needed to be handcuffed, sat on. In other words, one of the officers was sitting on the top part of his body, face down in a pillow. I don't know about you, but I know for a fact I can't breathe with my face down in a pillow. Needless to say, he didn't make it. And the sheriff's department, from the officers that were there, basically could care less. No big deal. It happens. You've heard me talk about this and talk about this and talk about this, so I'm blue in the face. Okay? How much longer are we going to allow citizens to be attacked and destroyed by police officers, deputies, sheriffs? This is ridiculous, people. There is no reason for this. If they can't check their egos at the door, they have guns, tasers, and OC spray. If they can't check their attitude at the door, they don't need to be a cop. They're just a scumbag with a badge. We don't need them, because now it's going to be another lawsuit, and the citizens are going to have to pay for the lawsuit. Because it doesn't come out of the sheriff's pocket, it doesn't come out of the deputy's pocket. It comes out of the taxpayers, and we're okay with this. You people need to get a grip. This is getting ridiculous. And we're gonna go to two things real quick. I bet you can't guess what those are. First one is a violation of oath of office taken by a public official. If violated, should be a felony. Okay. Not a misdemeanor, not a sweetheart deal, not allowed to resign. It's a felony. Sorry. Do the crime, do the time. The second one is that if an officer makes an arrest and charges you with a offense like disorderly conduct, getting in their way, stopping them from doing their job, and it doesn't go anywhere, it's just dismissed, it goes back on the officer. And why would we do that? Because they're using their arrests on us for their promotions. And this is ridiculous. Nowhere in the world can you do this. We're paying these clowns, and they're knocking us off one by one. And it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay with me. Hopefully it's not okay with you. And if it is, you have problems. These cops need to be brought under control because this is getting way out of hand. So let's go over to Avira's video and check it out. The reason I like using We the People Universities is because Avira gives you a lot of information that a lot of other places aren't going to give you. So let's check this out.
Family says Jasper County, Indiana emergency medical technicians sedated him, and police then held him face down for more than 15 minutes during a medical emergency.
So it's always stated that you never call the police because there's no situation that the cops can't make worse. And I agree. But in this particular case, no one called the cops. The Jasper County Sheriff's Office, well, they showed up on a medical call of a guy having a seizure. And just imagine, you called for paramedics and they come, but the cops decide to come with those medics. Now, this is a medical call of a family member having a seizure, but while having a seizure, while trying to put on his shorts so that he can go to the hospital, he stumbles. And when he stumbles, he bumps into the medic and the police officer. And from that point forward, he becomes a criminal, thrown to the ground, handcuffed, and he's face down in a pillow for 15 minutes. A medical patient is thrown down, handcuffed, and face down in the pillow with his face in the pillow for 15 minutes. And he just finished having a seizure. As you can imagine, the outcome was not good. But what's almost as bad is the response that the sheriff's office gave to this incident. Let's watch this. We'll talk more here in a second.
Well, outrage in Northwest Indiana as friends and family gathered tonight for a visitation for a father of two. They're demanding answers about how he died during a medical call for help.
Riker Earl's family telling WGN's Jenna Barnes they witnessed him go limp while a police officer held him down.
The only thing I really have right now is anger.
Anger fueling the drive for justice for 26-year-old dad of two, Riker Earl. He died earlier this month after his family says Jasper County, Indiana emergency medical technicians sedated him, and police then held him face down for more than 15 minutes during a medical emergency. Earl, his family says, was prone to having seizures. EMTs responded to help him the day of September 8th, and his family says some of the same EMTs returned that evening along with police because a more severe seizure at his home in DeMott, Indiana, prompted his grandmother to call 911.
And she's the one who has reported that he, in trying to put on his shorts to go to the hospital, fell over and bumped into either a police officer or one of the first responders, and that seemed to trigger a change in their behavior to treating him like a criminal at that point instead of a patient.
As we continue to watch this video, and we're going to see how bad it really got, I have an email that I received from a viewer, a 61-year-old woman named Dana. And that email I thought was very relevant to this particular situation. Let me read this to you guys really quickly. She says, what and or who can I contact because it needs to stop that cops break the law but have little to no punishment until they kill someone without a good alibi. Trump says if he gets in again, he's going to give permanent qualified immunity so they can do nothing and never lose their job or get sued. I'm 61 years old and have become afraid of cops more every day. So what can I do? Who can I contact? Now, I'm not here for political advice or who to vote for, who not to vote for. But the point of the email and what she's saying is she's becoming afraid of the actions of cops. And there's videos like this and all of the videos that we've shown on this channel and others, why the public is becoming more and more afraid of police officers because they do literally get away with murder. And it's happening more and more frequently. And actually, I'm not even sure if it's happening more or we just have more cameras and we're just seeing it more and it's more out in the.
You found a new place that checks all your boxes. Now make sure your connected home is ready to go with Quantum Fiber Internet.
The open and on social media. But to answer that question quickly, what can you do when police violate your rights or worse? You can file a complaint with the department, of course, and that's if it's an individual act by a police officer. But what if it's the entire department? You can file a complaint with the Department of Justice, file a criminal complaint, file a civil suit, contact your local ACLU if your rights have been violated. But the point is, do something. It's been too long of a time that the public did nothing, and I think that's what helped get this, what we're seeing today from law enforcement. I think that helped it to get to this point, because for so long, We didn't say anything. No one filed complaints. No one filed lawsuits. No one reported anything to the Department of Justice. No one reached out to the local ACLUs. And when I say no one, I'm just saying not enough of us did so. So therefore, yeah, the cops really believed, hey, I can get away with murder and I can beat this charge. And they have been doing so. That's the entire point of this entire auditing movement. We have to speak up. Let's keep watching this video, and hopefully enough of us speak up concerning this situation.
The family says officers took Earl to the floor, handcuffed him behind his back with his face in a pillow.
There was an officer on the upper part of the backside of his body. I had witnessed him begging for his life.
Earl's aunt says she was in the room as his body went limp.
I was just begging and pleading. He's blue. He's blue, like he's blue. You can tell he's blue. Do something, take his pulse.
She says when first responders did take his pulse, there wasn't one. Earl was taken to the hospital, but tests confirmed he had no brain activity. He was removed from life support on September 10th. The sheriff's office statement from 2 days later makes no mention of the circumstances of Earl's death. It reads that officers responded to a medical 911 call from a residence, and on September 10th, the office was informed the patient had passed away. The family has hired national civil rights attorney Ben Crump and Indiana attorney Stephen Wagner to investigate what happened, and they're zeroing in on the actions of officers and EMTs. Actions, they say, put Earl at greater risk.
Yeah, the dangers of prone restraint have been known for years to law enforcement. Everybody in the public has known about them since the George Floyd case in May of 2020.
The coroner hasn't yet released Earl's cause of death, but the attorneys are requesting his medical records and the body camera video of the incident to get answers for his family.
He was a 26-year-old man with a whole lot of life ahead of him.
Jenna Barnes, WGN News.
Indiana State Police are now investigating the incident at the request of Jasper County Police. WGN News has requested a copy of the body camera video.
So this guy had seizures all throughout that day. They came back a second time because the seizures were getting worse. So when they returned, not only was he having seizures, he was handcuffed, prone, face down, face inside of a pillow, already sedated by the medics, and not to mention he also suffered from asthma. All these things collectively together helped cause this man's death. But yet the response by the sheriff's office was just cruel and heartless. They had no care, no worry in the world when this was a medical call. Now, for those of you naysayers who state that police do oftentimes show up on medical calls, that is true. That is if the party is or the patient is combative or there's a danger. This guy was having seizures. The medics were there earlier and they were returning because he was having more seizures. This guy was trying to get ready, put on his shorts so he can go to the hospital. And because he accidentally lost his balance and bumped into one of the medics or the police officers, he's thrown down and murdered. I don't know how many times I have to say record the police, but it is dangerous not to record the police. And I completely understand what Dana is saying. More and more people are becoming afraid of the cops because they do get away with murder. And it's happening more and more. Always record the police, know your rights. With that being said, We the People University, signing off. Be sure.
Okay, so on that note, how much longer are we going to allow this to happen, guys? You know, we need to put a stop to this. This is getting just way out of hand. And let me know in the comments what you guys think. Go over to We the People University and check them out. And while you're here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, comment, and the like and share, and the thumbs up and down. And let me know how I'm doing. All right, guys. Thanks, and have a great day, and I'll talk to you on the next one.